All right, what's going on, everybody, man? We're gonna see. Let me check this Twitter, man. Let me see, or X. See if we got anybody watching us live, man. We're gonna give a couple minutes for people to kind of hop in and tap in. Let's see. Nobody's in right now, so we'll give them some time. But when you do tap in or for the pre-recorded, man, we appreciate you tapping in with us. You know what I'm saying? Najeh will be with us in the next 5 to 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? The brother had to step away. You know what I'm saying? Handle some things. So just one-on-one with Bacon right now. But we're going to be talking basketball. There's a lot of basketball going on right now. GHSA basketball is transitioning into the Sweet 16 round. My East Coweta Indians, man, they up. I ain't gonna say they up. No, they ain't upset, but they did have to go on the road to Collins Hill. I believe they won by 15 points. Quez Williams of East Coweta I believe he had 39. That's tough. Shout out to Quez, man. Shout out to Coach Roy Maxwell. They're gonna be home this Saturday. They're hosting. Who are they hosting? Let me tap in and see who they're hosting. It's a pretty big game though. Roy Maxwell. Okay, they be Collins Hill 65-49. They're gonna be hosting Cherokee this Saturday at East Coweta at 7:30, man. So definitely pack out the Thrower Gymnasium, man. Those guys, they're definitely special, man. They're real deep. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of versatile. You know what I'm saying? You got Harper. You know what I'm saying? One of the best shooters in the state of Georgia. You got Dylan Barber, one of the best defenders. You know what I'm saying? Long body, 6'5", just committed not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? You got my young bull, man, 22. Went crazy this year, but like I said, they're very deep, so definitely shout out to them. Who else? I want to see what Wendell Barr's going to do. We're going to talk about them a little bit more as the show goes on, man. But I want to get y'all thoughts, man. Hit me in the comments, man. What did y'all think about just the All-Star weekend, man? Me personally, I thought it was okay. I did like it here. They played more competitive this year, so that was good. The format, the start and stop, it was kind of bogus. So I'm saying that's definitely a thumbs down for Adam Silver. David Stern would never, but I kind of liked a little banter that you know what I'm saying, Kev, you know what I'm saying, the guys on TNT they had, man. I always grew up, you know what I'm saying, watching guys like that, you know, come on the screen and get to speak their piece. They're talking around, joking. Of course, we know All-Star Weekend is a big part of a big networking event. So, but I like, you know what I'm saying, it's relaxed. You want to see them come in, crack some jokes. So that was cool. But the biggest thing is some people have, you know what I'm saying, they got the notion they don't like how LeBron sat out. And LeBron 50, man. LeBron graced us with so many memories on All-Star Weekend where it's like, if Brown want to sit out one time, cool. I understand that he's still probably the biggest brand next to probably Wemby in the NBA. So you obviously everything starts at the top. You know what I'm saying? Comes down. So for LeBron to step out after we saw with the dunk contest when LeBron put his name in the hat, I'm gonna do the dunk contest, and he didn't do it. That was a start of stars not indulging in the slam dunk contest. So we probably will see more superstars as they get older because LeBron has done it. We'll see. You know what I'm saying? KD and all of them still play, Dame, Steph. But, you know, LeBron's different. So we may see that, and so that's just what it'll be. If it does become a pandemic with players not playing in the All-Star game, then the commission needs to step in, rule the iron fist, and, you know what I'm saying, not let things go, you know what I'm saying, be lax. Because as fans, viewership was down. I still is down, but that's my take on that. But like I said, get at me in the comments, man. This is live, real one-on-one talk, man. If you want to ask me anything about any events coming up, don't have to be basketball related, could be football related. But we got a big sevens tournament coming on this Saturday, but anything in basketball because, like I said, it's Sweet 16 round for GHSA, and we'll definitely be talking about that as the show goes on. But so the next topic that I want to touch on, and again, we'll be talking about this more in depth as my co-host comes back, we'll be talking about that. But the All-Star Slam Dunk Contest, Mac McClung won the Slam Dunk Contest. for the third time in a row. First time that's ever been done in NBA history in the Bay. The first time being back in the Bay since Vince Carter did his thing on that legendary night. So I think was that 10 years ago. Anyway, I don't remember the actual date, but I'll say this, man. A lot of people been coming, especially if you watch First Take. Stephen A. Was it Udonis? Udonis. I know Shannon was there. Might have been Stephen. I can't remember. I mean, not Stephen A. But Udonis has them. But anyway, Stephen A. definitely came down on Mac McClung to he's a G League player. You know what I'm saying? Certain G League players shouldn't be. And I don't want to take him out of context because he definitely gave McClung his praise. But he put a lot of stock into the NBA players, and rightfully so. You know what I'm saying? That's who we know. You know what I'm saying? The average fan, even down to the intermediate fan, they know more NBA players. G League viewership is down significantly. You know what I mean? Even ticket sales. There's not a lot of people that interact with the G League, and I think Mac McClung winning that, being the first player to ever win 3 times in a row, it brings some light to the G League. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of attention there, and I would like to see, for somebody who covers the G League, you know what I mean, for more people to pay attention. Like, there's a lot of college superstars in the G League, man, like Edwards, who played at Kentucky just a couple years back. Oscar Tshiebwe, who played at Kentucky last year or 2 years ago. Who else is down there that I've seen? Dennis Smith Jr. is playing in the G League. Isaiah Thomas played in the G League. If you're a Hawks fan, Daquan Plowden, you know what I'm saying? Keaton Wallace. And I say all that to say is I think it's a good thing that Matt McClung, and I hope more people tune in, because if you're going to be a fan of somebody on a college level, be an avid, rabid fan and pay, you know what I'm saying, $60 to $100, why not come to the G League and pay $10, $20, and you know what I'm saying, see your stars and see potential players going to be playing at the State Farm, be playing at the FedEx Forum if you're in Memphis, and come show love and get more of a one-on-one intimate connection. You know what I'm saying? You can get all the photos you want. It's like I said, it's real chill, laid back. You can't go crazy. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to abuse nothing that's nice, because once you abuse something, it's going to ruin it for other people. So come like you got some sense. Don't come down like you've been in the NBA games and calling the players' names. But I think it's a big, man. We definitely want to shed light on them, because they don't have the glamorous lifestyle. They don't get paid the same as an NBA player. You know, a lot of these guys have families, and I feel like their stories need to be talked about more. So they don't really have a budget for that. So, you know what I'm saying, come down and spending money with the G League, still spending money with the NBA. They got a whole, if you're specifically talking about the college part, you know what I'm saying, they got a area where you can come and buy merch. Sometimes 2 Chainz be down there, you know what I'm saying? Something for the fans. If you're a big 2 Chainz fans, if you haven't listened to his recent project with him and Larry June, you're missing out. That's dope. But I think that's very significant, man. I think we need to, you know what I'm saying, respect the G League players more. But a wavelength or a side effect, you know what I'm saying, to Matt McClung's recent, you know what I'm saying, history-making performance, Ja Morant, Zach LaVine, and other NBA superstars are now talking about, hey, you know what I'm saying, it's time to come back. Mac doing this has inspired us to now want to put our names in that proverbial hat. And I think it's amazing. I think Ja Morant, one of the biggest or highest verticals, you know what I'm saying, we all know what Zach LaVine can do. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, Aaron Gordon to come down, and hopefully somebody will talk to, you know what I'm saying, Anthony Edwards. You know what I'm saying? Hey, brother, you know, just try it out, brother. I know you laid back, relax. You don't want to be the face of the league, because, you know what I'm saying, you want to live your lifestyle how you want to live your lifestyle. You want to hoop, kill, as he said, and go home, which is fine, man. You know, everybody doesn't want to deal with the politics. I can understand where he's coming from when he said that. But, you know, you just want to put together a better product, man. You know, so you want to do something for the kids, man. Do something that you saw when you grew up watching Nate Robinson, Dwight Howard, and Gerald Green. People forget about Gerald Green's performance. But you want to do something for the kids, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's get All-Star Weekend back to what it used to be, back to the pinnacle. Like, man, everybody's sitting front and center. Nowadays, they talking about bringing in professional dunkers, you know, bringing in international players overseas, which I think is cool, by the way. That'd be something I'd like to see. But we're getting away from what it used to be. It just used to be NBA players just want to come in and kill each other And you know what I'm saying, that's where we're getting in the way of. It hurts my heart to see it. Even though I came up a little later, I didn't get to see all that, like the Jordan era, you know what I mean? But I did get to see, you know what I'm saying, AI play. I got to see LBJ, D Wade, Dirk, you know what I'm saying, Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I still love the NBA product. I tune into the All-Star Weekend every year. Let's see what we only got 7-4 here. I appreciate y'all tapping in. If, like I said, man, if you have any questions, definitely let me know. I'm keeping my eye on the YouTube chat right now. We got one. No, that's me watching, but for sure. Right. Oh man, we're going, like I said, my co-host is coming. So bear with us. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me. But big news today. Victor Wembanyama has been ruled out. Man, it's just, I'm not, you know what I'm saying, step back. You know what I'm saying? Got the Noonan across my chest, man. Shout out to Noonan, man. Shout out to the whole, you know what I'm saying, Coyote County community, man. You know, so definitely got to put the city on, man. It's a nice community down here. We got good Christian folk. But back to the serious matter. Victor Wembanyama has been ruled out for the season due to blood clots in his shoulder, man. That broke by 8 hours ago, man. I ain't gonna lie, that hurt my heart because the West is stacked up pretty nice. I know the Spurs aren't in. They're not in the playoff picture right now. Yeah, but they're 12th. They're the 12th seed behind the Phoenix Suns, so they're 4.5 games out from the Golden State Warriors, who definitely will trend upwards. They're probably about the 8th or 7th seed for sure. Dallas is probably going to slide, but you know, when you bring in De'Aaron Fox, you got Keldon Johnson, you got Stephon Castle, who also put on the spectacle in the dunk contest as well. That doesn't need to be ignored. Man Axel. They got a nice young nucleus. Coach Pop, we know he's been out with a stroke. You know what I'm saying? Prayers up for Coach Pop. They say he's still not where he needs to be. They released a press release, I think a couple weeks ago. Good PR move by the Spurs. But for Victor Wembanyama to be ruled out with this, first of all, I want to say the brother's 20 years old, man. You know what I'm saying? If he got a blood clot 20 years old, I'm sure my mind goes like, what are we dealing with on a day-to-day basis? This is a high caliber athlete. This probably got a clean diet, slim, frank, coming from France. His diet's probably different than the American diet. He ain't eating Mickey D's and Popeyes and gummy bears all day. So for him to have this, like, what do we have going on? That's where my mind goes. But I understand the NBA want to take precautions. They don't want to have to deal with the liability if something was to happen. You know, they got to pay all this money, and he's the next superstar. But ordinarily, if they didn't have all the legal red tape, I think it's like, you know, you got this, we'll monitor it, but we're going to play maybe minutes restriction, and we'll see how this goes. Like, I was listening to Billy Carson podcast he had on, what's his name? Played for the Pistons back in the day. I can't remember. John Sally. And he's like, yeah, man, they traded him he was in Detroit, I think, and he had a heart condition. And he was talking to one of his comrades. He's like, yeah, man, I got a heart condition. Like, all right, man, that's a red flag. In 6 months, you're going to be up out of here. And or he said, it was like in under a year, you'll be out of here. And the 6-month mark came up, traded him to Miami. And he said, as soon as he got down there, his heart condition cleared up and he was smooth. So that just kind of lets you know how these things are. So again, my mind goes like, what are we dealing with on a day-to-day basis? But that's my thoughts. This is definitely going to significantly hurt the Spurs' chances. They're probably going to drop down. And I know people's minds are going like, all right, you know, the Spurs may get another top lottery pick, which they definitely will. But I've been hearing, I was listening to, was it Brian Windhorst podcast today, or was it 525? Jeff Teague did that under the Club Shay umbrella. It was like, yeah, it's a crazy stipulation where if you're a tanking team and you lose the front half of the season, that's good. But the second half, they want to see you win, and that helps your chances of getting a number overall pick or getting higher picks, as we saw with the Hawks last year. That came out of nowhere. So, but that's big, man. I hate to see Wembanyama go down, man. I think he'll probably be the face of the league. Definitely, you know what I'm saying, carries himself in that kind of light. I know he's still young, but you can kind of groom him into that. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, and City, man, he ain't really, you know what I'm saying. But the brother from he went to not Hayville, he went to Thorough. You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. A lot of stars come from Thorough. That's a little and down there, man. So definitely shout to Wemby, man. Speedy recovery. I hope everything goes well with that situation. Didn't expect to be talking this long, man, but we're gonna roll on down the list, man. We're gonna touch on Holy Innocents. Holy Innocents, Caleb Wilson, that squad, man. Do we think that they will win? That they will win class? Is that Class A private? Yeah, I think it's class. No, not Class A private. It's just private, and I think so, man. I think they're probably the team to beat in that area. So let me pull up them on Max Preps real quick. I also think Wendell Barrow with the Twins in is that 4A, 3 or 4A. I think they're another sleeper team. Like they got Landmark Christian this Saturday at 4:00. I don't think Landmark is a pushover either. Let me see. All right, so I'm looking at. I know I said I was going to go to Holy Innocents, but right now we're looking at Landmark's schedule. Right, they lost to Trinity Christian at the beginning of the year. They had a rocky road. Trinity Christian, they finished the season at 2-22. So maybe they had some injuries. I think Landmark possibly had a playoff run football, and maybe they had some players come over late. So we're gonna sweep that under the rug. Lost to Rockdale County. Started the season 0-2, but came back strong. Went on a 3-game win streak. Beat Hayfield Charter, Galloway. Beat Mount Perrin for the boys. Lost to St. Francis. So let me scroll down. They lost to Mount Vernon by 10. That's a flagship school in Georgia. Beat Prince Ave and to advance to the Sweet 16, 57-53. So I this looking at their schedule, I automatically say that Holy Innocents will probably win this game by 15 or more. Blake Pollock, leading scorer for the Eagles with 20.2 points, shooting 45% from the field. That's elite. That's elite, man. Let me see how tall he is. He's a senior guard, standing at 6'3". I hear a little motion. Is my brother back? My brother is back, man. How you doing?
What's going on, brother? My bad. I was here at the 10-minute mark, man. I was trying to send off this tweet with Buddy, man. Trying to get some exposure. Jakelin Sheffield, man. But you did a great job at the intro. That's why I was backstage editing that, trying to get that out for him, man. But blessed to be back, man. Sorry about that, everybody, man. Hey, just came back from a gym session, man. So just trying to stay fresh, man. Had to handle my business, man. So ready to go though. Ready to
go. Definitely. Well, you know what I'm saying? A day in the gym is 10 years added on to the back end of your life, man.
For sure. 100%. If y'all don't know what that is, there's a lot of gains to just doing the gym, more than just getting your body right, but just for your endorphins, man, just being able to think clearly, and being able to de-stress as well, man. It's very, very powerful, man. Again, you ain't gotta do nothing crazy if you're just starting out. Just start small, man. Those little consistent gains helps a lot. So that's for those that's watching.
Nah, definitely, man. Before we get into the show, man, the biggest news of the day is probably that Victor Wembanyama news, man. So just give me your thoughts, man.
Yeah, I heard about that. So I was going to ask whether it was like something they said thrombosis. So obviously that's a blood clot is what you're saying, correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's interesting. I would have to go through his history. I don't know if he's had that before. I know you're gonna look at me crazy, but if he hasn't had that before, he just came to America. I mean, that kind of tells you a lot of what you need to know. You know what I'm saying? If he's already getting blood clots, if he didn't have it before. Look, I ain't trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying, the quality of food everywhere is different. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's something you got to take into account too, especially he's never had it. Now, if he's had these issues before, that's
Right.
something totally different. Again, I got to do my own research and see. But if he just got that and he's only been, in America, a year and a half now, because obviously he was a rookie the year before, tells you all you need to know. Now, he could be still having a clean diet. That's not saying he's not eating right, but it just tells you about just the different things that's in the food too, man. And like you were saying, I heard you a little bit, and you was like, I kind of, gives you concern a little bit or pause the cause, because if he's an elite athlete and he's eating right and he's skinny and he's doing the things he needs to do, then you can imagine what our bodies look like. The thing I think that the players have is they constantly get tested. So they always, us, we always, don't always do that. We dread going to the doctor and stuff like that, which, for rightful cause. But it's big news, man. I mean, it's a blow for San Antonio. If you were trying to make that late run to a play-in spot, but at the same time, you can get a high draft pick, right? Because you get in the lottery, add another piece to go along with a Wembanyama, right? And obviously, you want him to get healthy. That's the key point. But then you get to see what your young talent can do. A lot of buzz has been around Stephon Castle, and what he's doing in this rookie season, Rising Stars game, got to the dunk contest. A lot of people raving about him. But you get to see some of these young players perform and see how they finish out the season. So that's kind of the bright spot in it all. And like you said, Bacon, you don't want to jeopardize his future.
Definitely, especially with him being the face of the league, man. But I'm reading, I don't see anything about him having previous blood clot issues. But I do see this is interesting line. It says Serena Williams was diagnosed with the problem known as pulmonary embolism, a clot in the lung in 2011, and was the dominant women's tennis player in the world when she returned. So that's good news. Scariest thing I've ever experienced, Williams said after returning. So I mean, obviously, like I said, the NBA definitely wants to take precautions with the Wembanyama. Easily, probably going to be the face of the league. But if it wasn't for all the red tape, you know what I'm saying, the liability and the seriousness of this, so I think, I will put you on a minute restriction, or maybe sit you down for maybe a week, and we'll see how this goes. Monitor it. I'm not a doctor. I don't know anything about how to monitor blood clots, but like I said, that's just my thoughts. But yeah, that's big news of the day.
Facts.
But before we kind of tab into the Georgia high school basketball team, is there anything that stood out to you in your research this week that you want to talk about?
Yeah, kind of get your thoughts. I don't know if it'll be reality or not, but I've done a couple of videos on it. Cooper Flag potentially talking about coming back next year. What's your response and your reaction to that? Is there any validity to that? We know Zion teased a little bit. In my video, I basically talked about how I like it because, to a degree, I know you're talking about the NBA All-Star weekend and stuff like that. I feel like the product is not the same in the NBA as it was the years past. That's not saying it's not as good, but to the level what we grew up watching compared to where it is now, I think there's levels to it. And these kids with this NIL, they can stay in school, continue to build their stature and become a college legend while making really good money. Now, he's not going to make NBA money, but he's going to be making pretty money and continue to develop under a good coach in John Shire. So I think that's the underrated part too. So many jump so fast into the NBA, and we know, Bacon, once you get there, it can chew you up and spit you out quick. So I don't really think it's a bad move. He would be paired with the Boozer twins. They got another high-end class coming in for Duke. So, I mean, I wouldn't mind the move. I think he's going to only, catapult the sport more, where more eyes are going to be on college basketball. And I feel like the product right now is at an all-time high when we look at college basketball, what it means, currently. But I just want to get your thoughts. What do you think of that? I think it'd be great for the sport.
I think it'd be great for the sport, but I don't know. I don't know if the rest of the field will be ready to see the Boozer twins in a year or two. Cooper Flag. I think it'll be too easy. Honestly, Cam Boozer.
Oh, too easy.
Too easy. Unless you get
I don't know about that one, twin.
Some other, if nobody else follows this model and nobody else from like a UNC or a Kentucky, somebody's gonna have to, like an Ian Jackson, gonna have to stay, and somebody else that's a lot to deal with, brother.
You right. I ain't saying you're wrong. You right. That is a lot to deal with, brother. You ain't lying. You know what I'm saying? Reminds me of the Kentucky team back in the day. There's a lot to deal with. You're 100% right. And then we look at guys like Isaiah Evans, who's finally starting to come in the fold. Not that he can't play, but obviously, dealing with a lot of freshmen being in there. not really getting a chance to shine as good as he is. But yeah, you're right. I think it would be obviously teams will have to do that. But the thing is now, Bacon, these teams are veteran led. It's not like before the one and done.
Yeah.
They they transferring, they staying in college 3, 4, 5 years, extending, and you know what I'm saying, they're playing.
Nah,
So that's
good
why I say
point.
I think now it'd be a little bit more difficult. Maybe in the past you'd be like, that's easy money. I feel like now it'd be a little bit more difficult.
That's a good point. But the Boozer Twins they have won the hardest AAU circuit 3 times in a row. You give them Cooper flag, man. I think they get it done. But I get your point about having seen that teams as we see with kind of Florida. But I'll add this to the mix too. If he were to stay, I think it would be interesting, right? Because if he comes out right now, they got him per the SI mock draft. They got him going to the Washington Wizards. You know what I mean? Of course, he's going to be out there. If he does go to Washington, he'll be out there with Alex Sarr. You know what I'm saying? We'll see if they keep not Brian Poole, but Jordan Poole. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, they dealt Kyle Kuzma. I kind of like that Alex Sarr Cooper flag. You know what I'm saying? Matchup. That's going to be elite. But you know what I'm saying? Washington's not known for being a good organization. Number 2, New Orleans Pelicans, definitely not known for being a top level organization. Utah Jazz, right now, you know what I'm saying, you don't know what the lottery's going to do with the you know what I'm saying, the balls. But Utah Jazz is probably the best team. You know what I'm saying, Laurie Marketing, you know what I'm saying, Walker Kessler, that'd be interesting front court. He's really a wing, but you just coming out of college, especially being a winner, you hate to go to a organization that's known for losing, you know, so that can do something to your athletic psyche. But to answer your question again, listen, come full circle. I think it would be interesting, and it could possibly start something with, like you said, players staying and getting a lot of money. Not NBA money, but it's a lot of money, and it'll definitely give some time for another cycle. Like he could possibly, next year, he could possibly go to the Spurs or some of that, but you never know what can happen in the draft lottery.
Good point, brother.
For sure.
Okay.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to hop into high school basketball. We're going to start with our favorites in 6A. Top level basketball, you got teams, East Highwood, as I alluded to earlier. You have Norcross, and you got McEachern, who's probably your favorite. Valdosta, Buford, Westlake, so Walton. You know what I mean? So who's your top 14 that you expect to go the distance and be in that Final Four?
My top schools definitely be McEachern and 6A. I think they can make some noise. It's so tough because they're all in the same bracket. Obviously, they griped about this a little bit. McEachern's on the same bracket with a Wheeler, with a Grayson, so they're going to go toe-to-toe. I think we're getting robbed just a little bit of, the state championship. Why not see all those teams or one of those teams go head-to-head at each other? Compared to the other bracket, it's a little bit easier, you know what I'm saying, to that degree. Like, you're going to kind of see it here. Obviously on that side, Lambert, they're a really good basketball team, but, in the same breath, that bracket's harder. Like, Norcross is going to play McEachern on Saturday. You know what I'm saying? And my pick was McEachern. I like Wheeler a lot. And I think Coach Thompson's doing a great job. But I just went McEachern because I don't think nobody's going with them. They got a really good team. They can space the floor. They got, 3 guys that can go get you a bucket. They can defend at a high level. J.D. Palm's trying to get his legs under him a little bit from what I've been hearing about and seeing lately. So that would be my pick. Final Four, I guess I go Grayson, Wheeler / McEachern in there. And then on the other side, I feel like Walton could make a run potentially. And then maybe like Buford. I think Buford can come out on top of that one. I think Walton can make a little bit of a run in that upper half bracket. Don't sleep on Pebblebrook either, though.
We like Pebblebrook. So this I'm not sure what region this is, but for the sake of conversation, we'll call it Southeastern, North-Southeastern region with Hillgrove, Newton, Peachtree Ridge, who had a lot of buzz. How do you feel about the Ridge, man?
Yeah, they got to play Newton. Newton actually won that first round matchup, so they're going to play each other this weekend on Saturday. It's interesting because Peachtree Ridge, a team that not a lot of people thought would be really good this year, but they won another region championship back to back. Right, this is supposed to be Norcross year. They reclaimed the throne. But Peachtree Ridge, they got a lot of guys that can score. They share the basketball. They play, kind of like outside in a little bit, and they got a really good coach. And he's doing a great job. But when you look at Newton's a team that's experienced, a lot of young guys. Also a lot of veteran leadership. You look at Ted Neal, he's really good, high flyer. You look at Jelks, like they got guys that can score and fill it up too. So I think a really intriguing matchup. But Newton's another team that you could see and might surprise you. They could get to a quarterfinals or a semifinals this year, but they got to handle business against the region champion and Peachtree Ridge.
No doubt about it, brother. That's a great breakdown by you. I think I'll agree. McEachin for sure. No. I'm gonna say Wheeler out of the Southwest, and you got to go Grayson, no doubt about it. And up top, I want to go Westlake so bad. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Westlake. And bottom, it's tough not to go Buford. So yeah, Buford. That'd be Buford, Wheeler, Grayson, Westlake. That's my final four. And then overall winner, I'm gonna go Wheeler, man. You probably say Grayson, but I'm gonna roll with Wheeler this year. You agree?
I think a lot of people are on that Wheeler train. You know what I'm saying? They really think they can knock him off. No disrespect to Grayson, but Wheeler is very talented. They got a lot of guards that can switch. Kevin Savage is back healthy again. You look at Coben Landrew, who's I think one of the best players in the country. And then you look at Cole Sutter, who's a defensive stopper, can play both sides of the ball and handle the basketball. And then you look at Tyler Jordan on the interior as well. They got a lot of pieces. And Monsieur McLean is a flamethrower. Let them get hot from deep. Good luck. You know what I'm saying? So that's no shocker. I wanted to see that matchup. Like that is a state championship game I would want to go see. But it's unfortunate they're going to play each other in the semifinals. So we're getting robbed to a degree.
Yeah. How do you what goes into putting these brackets together, man? I know it's wins and losses, but at some point you gotta add in fanfare. Like, all right, we're gonna move this over here. You know what I'm saying? Put a team over here. But from your perspective,
so basically they go. So it's like what is it? It's 8 different regions. So they'll have like a certain. So like the top 4 will be in like one side, and then the last 4 will be in like another side. So whatever that top team, you obviously know how the region tournament works. But if you win, let's say you're in region 1, you'll be in the top left of the bracket, right? But let's say you're a region 8 team, like maybe a Grayson, region 8, team 3 or whatever. They end up getting the 1 seed because they won a region. They'll be at the other half. Then let's say it's another region that's bunched up in there, region 6. Region 6-2 will be down there with them as well. So that's kind of why you see that fluctuation. They'll kind of match up those teams based off of like what region they're in the same kind of a bracket. But like you said, if we want to get prime action, we want to get the best of the best, and we have the state to do it. And like I said, there's no knock on what, I'm talking about what GSA. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying we had a state to do it, to have these marquee matchups where people will want to tune in. I think you got to get the fans and teams what they want, and I think semifinals are great, but at the same time, we want the championship game to be, creme de la creme. We want top tier teams going head to head, neck and neck.
Absolutely. I agree with you 1,000%, man. We're transitioning into the 5A bracket. As we see, we got some action already. As I talked about earlier, Wendell Barrow is definitely a sleeper team for me, aiding to beating veterans by almost 30. 24 points, not 24. 26, 24. Somebody do the math for me. I know that not too bad. But you got Milton moving on, beating a tough Riverwood team. Again, another matchup we'd like to see down the line, but that matchup against Woodward Academy is definitely box office. They're playing this Saturday. Woodward Academy beat McIntosh. Close game, not close. 19-point win. Let's see. Langston Hughes, tough loss for Shiloh. Habersham Central, another good team. Tri-Cities, that's definitely my pick to come out of 5A. But brother, again, I'm giving the floor to you, man. Man, tough loss for Decatur. Man, I was hoping they was gonna get that win, but what's your Final Four prediction, man?
This one is tough. I'm not gonna lie to you to say Final Four. 5A is so wide open, bro.
Yeah.
There's so many teams in this one that can just make a run and that are really good. Like Rome just beat a really good Bradwell Institute team that was 21-6 coming in. Right, Rome got JJ Winston, who's a two-sport star, and they got Jamil Williams, who's going to go play at Kennesaw State. You know what I'm saying? And he was all region this year. I think he was up for the conversation for Region Player of the Year. Right, so they got a really good basketball team. They can make some noise. Lee County is that team that year in, year out, they're making deep playoff runs. Right, no Josiah Parker this year, but they're right back there. You know what I'm saying, in Middle Georgia, and they always can make these type of runs. So that's an intriguing matchup on Saturday. A long ride from Rome all the way down to Lee County. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna have to definitely be ready to go, there. And then, Milton Woodward, like that's crazy. Those are state title contenders. The fact that they're meeting that early says a lot. But the crazy part is Milton ended up being a 3 seed coming in. So they kind of made their road tougher than what it had to be. And the shocker in the first round, Bacon, Gainesville losing to Sprayberry. He lost by I think it was 70-49. Like Coach Gibbons is such a great coach.
Right.
I was shocked at that one. I know obviously, they're gonna rebound from it, but you just don't see that every day. There was the number 1 seed. Remember, Milton got knocked off by Lanier. You're like, okay, Gainesville gonna make some noise. That's a shocker to me. That's a shocker to me. So those are some of the shocks for me. If I had to say right now, I would go Woodward. I think they're gonna be in. No disrespect to Milton. I think Milton could have been. If they could have handled their business, been on the other side of the bracket, potentially made a deeper run. But I think Woodward with Zach Foster, D. Cooper, Jarvis Hayes Jr. has established himself as a top prospect in 2027 class. They got the horses to do it. I don't feel like Riverwood, even though they got great coaching, didn't have the horses besides J.R. Leonard, who's averaging 30. They didn't have enough pieces, man, to do it. So I would go them. My sleeper, though, is Dutchtown. They got this kid named A.J. Williams that can ball. 6'7". At one point in the season, he's averaging 18.5 and 12 boards. That kid can go. You know what I'm saying? So Dutchtown got some pieces. I think they can make some noise. It's gonna be a tough quarterfinal matchup. They get past Sequoia with Rome and Lee County. But I think they can make some noise as well. Pull down just a little bit. Let me see what else we got. I like Tri-Cities. I think Tri-Cities can make a little run down there. I know Brunswick's had a pretty good year. But they've gotten better as the season's worn on. We've seen them against Holy Innocents and what they did against Caleb Wilson and everything. It wasn't a good game, but that's a team down there I think can make some noise. They should be able to get to a semifinals respectfully. And then on the other side, Houston County and Alexander and Lanier and Hughes. Hughes lost their head coach, but they right back there, got some good talent. But I'll put my money on Alexander. They're always good. They're always well coached. They don't have the same repertoire of players they've had in years past, but that team always plays high-end ball. And they won the region title over Rome. Beat them pretty good. So I'm going to go Alexander. So I go Alexander. I would go Tri-Cities. I would go probably Dutchtown. And obviously at the top, Woodward Academy. That would be my 4.
Alexander, Tri-Cities, Dutchtown. What's the last one?
Woodward.
Oh, yeah, Woodward, of course. Of course. Nah, I mean, Dutchtown. Yeah. So first and foremost, AJ Williams, a part of that Georgia Star squad who won his junior EYBL. You know what I'm saying, this past Peach Jam. So I mean that lets you know all you need to know about the kid, double machine. But I gotta agree with you, Dutchtown. And definitely want to shed a light on Lee County, man. For them to lose Josiah Parker and for them to still have this much hype. Not as much hype, but to be this successful just shows you how deep that team was. So kudos, to the hoops down in South Georgia. A lot of times, South Georgia hoops don't get that much love. They're like, they come up here to Atlanta and they get blown off the map. We know they're playing Rome. I'm probably going to pick Lee County to beat Rome. I just think they got more of a hooper culture down there. But definitely shout out to the South Georgia hoops for coming up here and doing that thing. But so I agree with you. Woodward Academy, definitely they have too much for Milton. You know what I'm saying? They're just more of a complete team. So they'll see Wendell Barrow. I'm going to pull for the Twins there. So I'm going to say Wendell Barrow for my first Final Four prediction out of the Northwest region. So I'll put that down, Wendell Barrow. East side, Northeast. I gotta go Dutchtown as well, so I'm gonna agree with you there. Southwest, I think it's Alexander's spot to lose. I like Pops, premier point guard. That's what they call him. Call him Pops. And for the East side, I gotta go Tri Cities. I gotta go Tri Cities. Though this Spray Red team is very interesting. And I'm probably hopefully there's some film out on YouTube. I'm gonna pull up the numbers here in a minute on Twitter or Max Preps. But I just think Tri City's gonna have too much. Been watching them pretty close this season. Coming on real nice. I've been talking to one of the coaches. Yeah, they're kind of, what I'm saying. I saw them figuring it out. It was like, yeah, they're just coming together. Everything's more of a unit. When I went and saw them play Decatur and Jalen Wingfield had an efficient 20 plus point game with a double, but it was just like, what I'm saying, he wasn't really working outside the perimeter, working on that short corner, the short corner. But what I'm saying, it was a very quiet, modest 20. And when you don't feel Jalen, what I'm saying, getting off, so that's just a sign that they're moving in the right direction. So, in order for them to get to where they're trying to go, he's gonna have to have some loud 30s. And I think he's primed for that. So again, Winterboro, Dutchtown, Alexander, and Tri Cities, and I'm taking Tri Cities to win it all. So before we segue, man, if you want to now, if you want to wait, I understand, but who do you think is going to come out of 5A?
So on TV, I picked Woodward. So I'm gonna go with Woodward. And keep obviously my pick. That was the team I went with. So I think they got it this year in order to win. So I'm gonna go Woodward.
All right, you definitely don't want to flip flop when it's already been under 2. So I agree with you.
Fact.
All right, we're gonna go to 4A. I could have stayed on that. I could have stayed on the thing, so I have to re-share my screen. All right. 4A, man, we got Big Kale. We got Pace Academy. I'm going to sit off the top, man. This is basketball in Georgia is very competitive. 5A and 4A is probably one of the most packed. But I'm going to take Pace Academy of my overall winner. I'm going to say that loud and proud.
They beat the. Hold on. Trying to make sure I say it right because you get clipped.
No lie.
They beat 2A. Central Carrollton, and Central Carrollton can play. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that they beat them says a lot. Guess who they playing next though?
You talking about Kel or Pace?
Pace.
They playing Kel, right?
Yeah, bro. That's a heck of a second round matchup.
Nah, facts. So before we get in, do you know much about Kel? I was supposed to see them, but due to the snowstorm, I didn't go.
So they got a couple players. They got a high riser guy that's that plays the big man. He had a poster. In their game when they played up against Woodward. They got Connor Stalferis, who I think is the best shooter that nobody talks about in 2025. Clyde's very efficient. Shoots at about a 50-60% clip. So he's really good. And they got Zach Graves, who's a young guy, but he's like, you ever see those guys? It's like, they're smaller, but they're real stocky. He's like that at a young age, and he could just go get to the lane, fight off contact, use his body in order to get shots off and things like that. That's kind of the player they got in him. And he's like a point guard / shooting guard. So they're talented. I mean, this is not the team they had in years past with CJ Brown and Peyton Marshall, and all those guys, but they could be potentially dangerous. But Pace is real deep. Like we already know Chatfield and, off the bench, Breland Craft, they got Chandler Bean, Billy Luiscano, they got shooters.
Yeah.
They got a lot. So I think it's going to be a really good second round matchup, though. 2 really good opponents to decide who goes to the quarters.
Facts. I said that might be the deepest team in 4A. Westminster, I see they got them. They beat Cedartown by 14. Southwest DeKalb, I believe they're very solid as well. And North Oconee.
That's the team.
That's a
That's
team
the
North
team.
Dakota.
Yeah, so a little bit about Norfolk Coney. So they got one of the best sophomores as well. So sophomore class is deep. He should be ranked before it's said and done. He already has an Auburn offer. That's Justin Wise. Already passed 1,000 career points. He carried the load, you know what I'm saying, literally this season when a lot of their team was still playing football, right? So they also got Kamari Brooks, who's playing for them as well. You know, and obviously you mentioned his top three with Clemson, Georgia, and Alabama. But since he's come back, they've won 24 straight games. So they're not messing around. That team can play. They're deep. They got a good coach and Coach Rick Rasmussen. So what I want to see, and I hope we don't get robbed of it, I want to see a Pace Academy and North Oconee championship game. That's what I want to see. I want them two to go head to head, neck to neck. That would be one of the best championship games, I think, in the GSSA. Now, no disrespect to 6A, to 5A, to 3A, to 2A. 3A is probably going to be Sandy Creek and Cedar Grove, but that would be a heck of a game between two really good teams that have been there, done that, coaches that have won. Norfolk Coney won last year, defending champs. Sign me up.
That's facts. That's facts. You know, honestly, you know, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about the Borough, man. We know them kids over there, man. Obviously, Jentavious Wyman. You know what I mean. They got a squad over there, man. Who else?
Cortez.
Yeah, Cortez. I watched them play. Who did they play that night? I cannot remember, but they was doing that thing, man. Obviously, they won the region this year, man. So that was big. How far do well first? You know, Cambridge is no slouch, man. They got a couple guards over there. They're kind of weak on the inside. You know what I'm saying? Jonesboro to really have a big like that. You know what I'm saying? They're kind of a 5-out team. You can really say a 4-out, whatever you want to say. But you know, so that's gonna be a guard battle, man. That's gonna be a tough game. So how far do you think this Jonesboro team will go?
It's gonna be interesting. I think they definitely can make a quarterfinals. They might run into a little bit of trouble in that quarterfinal matchup. I think Tucker should be East Forsyth. Tucker's a team that's battle tested, really good core. They got some big pieces down there below. That's where they could run into a little bit of problems, but they should be able to beat Cambridge. You know, they got good guards, you know, big men, but I think with their athleticism and their talent, Jonesboro should be able to beat Cambridge. So I got that Tucker-Jonesboro matchup will be really entertaining to see who comes out on top.
Tucker Jonesboro matchup. I like that. All right. So definitely taking Jonesboro over Cambridge. That's going to be an intriguing game. That's going to be, where's it going to be at?
It'll be a coin flip. I think it'd probably be, if they win, probably at Tucker, I think.
Okay. All right. So, man, we've pretty much already said it. We didn't talk about the northeast side, but just let me hear your final four.
Let's see. So at the top, I'm gonna go upset. I probably will go Southwest DeKalb. I feel like they can make a sneaky run to the Final Four. I'm gonna go Pace. Obviously, I got them coming out on top. Norfolk Coney, and I'm gonna go Tucker as the other.
Pace Acad, Norfolk Coney. You said Tucker.
Yeah, Tucker, and then Southwest DeKalb.
All right. Southwest DeKalb. All right. Definitely Pace for sure for me. So you know what I'm saying, we agree there. It's hard not to go with Southwest DeKalb. Though this Westminster team is very interesting. Very interesting. But we're gonna roll with Southwest DeKalb. I'm gonna roll with you on North Coney. And for the hell of it, I'm gonna take the Borough. I'm gonna go with the Borough boys. So Pace, Coney, Jonesboro, and Northwest DeKalb. All right. Let's see. Did I go? Yeah, we definitely went 3A. Yeah. No, it didn't. Well, let me ask you this. We don't have to go through the whole 3A thing. We pretty much know it's a crash course for Sandy Creek and
Cedar Grove.
Yeah, fact. I'm gonna let you take the floor. I'm gonna let you start, man. Who do you think is gonna win and why?
I'll go Cedar Grove. No disrespect to Sandy Creek, who obviously is a great team. They have 8 straight 25 win seasons. So Coach Nickerson's doing a great job out there. That's not easy to do, to accomplish. Great culture that he got out there. He challenges his players. But I think this is Cedar Grove's year to be able to do it. They're too talented. You know what I'm saying? We've seen them. I know they lost the Villages Charter, but, Yusuf Boyer hitting that three-point shot that's hitting the OT, right? Keith Gillespie being the best shooter on the team. Manny Green, who can, fill it up on the stat sheet and score. Javante Floyd, a two-way big man that can finish around the rim. To me, they got too many pieces. They should be ready to go. They should be able to win this one. Way too talented. Floyd's a 3-star. Green's a 4-star. Like, they got a lot of pieces. Cedar Grove should be able to win this year.
I'm gonna split hairs with you right there, brother. You know what I'm saying? Coach Nick, definitely one of the best coaches in the state. I think needs probably a little more respect. Even though he has a lot of respect, but I think he needs a little more. But I'm gonna lean to the coaching side. I think they're gonna be a little more well coached. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, win 2 back-to-back state championships. He's gonna have his team's mindset ready. Got a couple football guys out there. I think they're gonna be a little more gritty. You know, so they're gonna get those 50-50 balls. I know Cedar Grove is very talented, but I like the guys out of Tyrone for sure. All right, so you know what I'm saying, we'll write that down, man. May have to do a little side bet, man. It's a little food and some hot wings or something. JJ's or something.
Facts.
All right, but coming to the last segment of the basketball, we're gonna transition into Holy Innocents. Will they bring it home? I think so.
It's wild that they even a 3 seed to me. Number 1 seed is North Cobb Christian. You maybe could throw Green Forest Christian in there as a chance. Lovett is a really good team with Cameron Cannon at the helm. Gadsden just went off. He had a dunk poster. He's obviously looked good so far this postseason. Mount Perrin, I want to give them a shout out. They've won 5 of the last 7 games, just in terms of winning the region seed or winning the region championship as a number 9 seed. They're really talented. Shane Goins is a freshman that's been filling it up. Obviously, Chris Park is another one. Good coaching staff, good group. But I want to give them all shout outs. But yeah, I think this is Holy Innocents or Holly Innocents, however you say it, Holy Innocents chance to win the championship. They have the help this year. When you look at Kingston Whitty, you look at Devin Hutcherson, you look at Caleb and how he was going toe to toe with Power and Grayson. I think this is their championship to lose. Holy Innocents should win.
I agree. I agree with you. So we'll go with the biggest threats then. Do you think the biggest threat is
probably Green Forest?
Green Forest? No St. Francis?
No, I wouldn't say St. Francis, no. Other threat you could throw in there, probably Walker. Walker could be a threat potentially, but those are the only ones maybe. But other than that, nah.
All right, we'll leave it at that. So the shoe-in Holy Innocents. I wish we could see him in different classifications. This probably be a dominant run. Definitely interested to see who is it? Not St. Francis, but Landmark Christian is a decent team, but they should win that very handily. Christian Heritage is a namesake in the Class A. Well, not Class A, it's all private. In the private ranks, Mount Perrin for sure. So just not to get off topic, but you had the Mount Perrin crew on the show today or yesterday, man. Just tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so I was talking about a little bit. Yeah, what was so cool, man, they were fans of the show. Like the coach was just hitting me up. This just goes to show you, the power of just, doing things the right way. But yeah, he just would continuously hit me up, would send me their stats. They was tagging me in their stuff. And it was like, hey, this is a fast break headline. You should put this on here, or whatever. So that's how you knew they was tapped into the show. So I was like, that's bad. I was like, I didn't know basketball was tapped in. You know what I'm saying? And watching the show. So, I mentioned it in the fast break headline, and he told me, like, when they came in the studio, he was like, yeah, man, we watch it. Well, I watch it, I tune it in every day at noon, man. I'm hip there. I'm watching, looking. So he's going to show you the reach that you have. You never know who you're reaching. And he said, I always record and I show the coaches. So that's kind of how it started. And then, they was able to accomplish that feat. Like I said, winning 5 games in 7 days. So then I did an article on it. I talked to the coach, did a phone call, and everything, and wrote the article. But I was like, you know what? This is not telling the full story. They started when he took over the program, Bacon, 5-21, right? Didn't get a lot of help. Had to like keep his guys. You know what I'm saying? Because it's similar to football. It's a high school transfer portal. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you know when it happens, Bacon? It happens at that live period, from what I've been hearing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that live period. Like, hey, little things like that. Play for me. You know what I'm saying? So a team you might see in the live period playing, that might not be the same team that suit up in the fall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I got hip to some game. You know what I'm saying? So he's dealing with all that and trying to build and establish a culture and trying to get his kids to trust him. So when he said that in the 5 and 21, I didn't even include it in my story. I was like, you know what? Let me bring y'all in. You know what I'm saying? Y'all have so many great stories. Let me just give y'all the platform to be able to say how y'all been, getting it through the mud, being in a private school. Not a lot of people are talking about y'all. And he said his kids, crazy part about this, another cool story. His kids will go and see the 6A teams or 5A teams, like a Caleb or like a Grayson, whoever, and they will go watch their big games. And he said, why they can't be us? You know what I'm saying? We need to be in the gym and we can get on that level with them. You know what I'm saying? Or we could be on that stage where people is coming to come see us. So it's just all a culture change. And, to me, respectfully, again, I know it's a lot going on in the world and it's Black History Month. I just want to say they are Black excellence. You know what I'm saying? They really are. Well, how they carry themselves, they're all Black men, they married, they do things the right way. And I wanted to use my platform in order just to get the story out there. I didn't want to just do a regular article. I wanted them to tell it in the studio, what they went through, how everybody's been accounted for. A player that used to play for them 2 years ago is one of their assistant coaches, and how everything came to be, man. So that's kind of how the story started. And I brought him in. So I called him and I was like, yo, y'all want to just, come in studio? Y'all want to, be on the show? And he was like, yeah, man, we would love that, man. We've never done nothing like that. And I was like, cool, man. And they was the first ever basketball guest, basically in the studio. Like we haven't had any, it's all been football, you know what I'm saying? But trying to bring that different dynamic. And when you can have a relationship like that, and they, obviously they were very appreciative and great guys, then word spreads. You know what I'm saying? Because you can have a daily show, but if you're not bringing people in, you're not getting that perspective, and you're not covering the right way, they're going to never know. But this coach knew, and I was like, let's bring you in, and then word, it'll just spread. So then at some point, you got the top show, not just basketball, but all sports, because you're bringing people in the studio and you let them tell their story. That's what it's about.
Yeah, but you definitely popped the cherry, man. That's top flight. That's top flight journalism by you, man. So kudos to you, man. I highlight that was a great story, man. I definitely watched the full thing. I probably watched like a minute and a half of the whole thing, on my break. Just trying to get back, put my hard hat on. But great journalism by you, man. You know what I'm saying? All jokes aside.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm. So now we're gonna enter into the college basketball world. The tournament, we are in February, ladies and gentlemen, and it's
too early. I don't know why you picked who to win NCAA tournament. It's too early, Bacon.
Hey,
we ain't even did we don't even got brackets yet, and you talking about pick for NCAA tourney.
Bacon. We do have a bracket preview by the official NCAA March Madness that dropped. Let's see, that dropped 5 days ago. So once I saw it, I said,
top 16 teams. Yeah.
It must be time.
No, it's not time, because we don't even know where these people gonna be seated at. It's too early, Bacon. Who is your pick to win? I can't say right now. It's too early for me.
Yeah, I mean it is a little too early. I like to pick after the conference tournaments.
Yes.
So maybe we should pivot there, but I'll give you 3. Very intrigued by Florida. I'll give you 4. Florida, Duke, Auburn, and I'm gonna throw St. John's in there, man.
Why them?
Rick Pitino, you definitely want to count out anybody like Rick Pitino coming in with an extra chip on his shoulder. A guy who's been there, who kind of got the raw end of the deal when he left Louisville. He's got a good squad. That St. John's got a grittiness to it. You know what I'm saying? Another team that's going to press you. You know what I'm saying? When that team presses full court, it's going to get hectic. And dealing with some teams that got some youth, some young guards, I think they're going to cause commotion. and you go in right off Kansas, man, they out of there, man. They should
I don't
be.
even know how they are 4 seed. That's the crazy part to me.
I don't even want to see them, bro. They gonna if you listen, bro. That might be that team that busts a lot of brackets. I'm sure a lot of people are gonna have them going to the round of 32, but they might lose in the first round. For sure. But top. So do you want to give your top 4, or do you want to just go to power 4?
I'll go top 4. I'll give you a top 4. This is tough. I kind of hope it doesn't happen. Like, I don't want to see Duke and Tennessee in the same bracket.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. I'd rather them go at each other in the Final Four. But let's just say if they did, I mean, I think Tennessee is really talented. They got Sakai Ziegler. Like, that's a team, again, with Rick Barnes. Like, they can make a run, bro. You know what I'm saying? They always got a really well-rounded team. And I've been watching them, obviously against Florida. I know they got, messed up pretty good earlier in the season when they went down there. Came back, got a little bit of revenge. I like Tennessee, though. I think they can make some noise. My sleeper going to be Houston, though, man. They ever since they joined the Big 12, they are an elite team. Like, they're going to be tough to beat, man. And that matchup with them in Florida in Elite 8, that might be something to watch. You know what I'm saying? Them two going head-to-head. Houston is a very good basketball team. So I would love to see that matchup. But I guess I go Tennessee. I like Duke. I'll throw Duke in there. I feel like Bama could get upset. They're not playing no good basketball right now. So that bracket there, I think, is wide open. Wherever they land, I don't know if they'll still be a 1 seed after losing this week to Missouri. They might drop down a little bit. We'll see what happens there. But definitely Auburn. They just have so many pieces. Like, Tahad Pettiford is their third leading scorer. Janai Broome can get it done. Miles Kelly is third option, fourth option.
Fourth.
They got so many guys. Like, that's just a well-rounded basketball team. They should make some noise. And then I would go Florida. So probably Auburn, Florida, Duke, Tennessee. You know what I'm saying? We'll see how things shape up. Tennessee might be trending in towards that category, maybe of a higher end seed, for it's said and done, especially what they're able to accomplish. But that would be my 4.
I agree, man. What do not to your point about Florida, winds behind it. The sophomore Alex Condon. I just think they're elite. They shoot the ball well, first and foremost. I think they shoot like 37% from outside, rebounding well. Got some size, good guards, man. But like I said, anytime you have guards or a team that can shoot the cover off the ball, and I'm saying they're just clicking at the right time right now. But I think Alex Condon is going to be a big part of that 6'10", 6'11" sophomore. I think he's shooting like close to 40% from the 3, but he's going to be a game changer for that team, But it's all about peaking at the right time, and this Florida team is going to have a great chance of winning the SEC tournament, carrying that momentum into the big boy tournament, and it's going to be very pivotal for them. But if you don't have anything else to say, we're gonna continue to transition to more college basketball topics.
All good, brother.
All right. So, man, we're gonna talk women's basketball. Excuse me. We can't leave college basketball without super serving our Tech fans. Hopefully, they're still in the chat, man. But do you think it's over? Well, not over, but how do you feel about Georgia Tech women's basketball? Obviously, they kind of tail spun. You know what I'm saying? Since Danny Carnegie kind of got hurt, she's been back, but she hasn't really. I think she may have scored 20 points or more, maybe one time since coming back in the rotation. So just let me know how you feel about the Lady Yellow Jackets.
Yeah, they're in a tough stretch. They just lost tonight to NC State, 83-68. I'm saying another tough loss for them. Just feels disjointed currently. I like their head coach, and they're making a good run this year. I don't know. I mean, I think it just depends on who they match up with in the tourney. I definitely think they should still make it. They're 21-6 this year. They might not be in the AP poll after this week after another loss. But I think they picked up some high quality wins early, which was important for them. But the coach has got to figure out how to get this team going. And figuring out how to make it a little bit easier. One of the names that's been, struggling a little bit is Chastity Wright. Like, she was another key player for them, just giving good minutes and scoring at a high end. You know what I'm saying? When she was able to come in, Cara Dunn is another really good player for them. It's been a little tough, and it seems like defense is, to a degree, it's figured them out a little bit. So they're taking away the things that they want to do. So I wouldn't say it's over, but they got to figure it out fast. You know what I'm saying? They got to figure it out fast. But if they can figure it out and change some things up, they could be a team that could make a Sweet 16 appearance potentially. And that would be a win for them because this team has not been to that level in a while. But you got to credit Coach Fortner. She's doing a great job recruiting, and they're getting high-end prospects here from Georgia to come to the Flats. So they got a chance. I'm not going to say they're going to beat the high-end teams like the USCs or the UConns or the South Carolinas, but they definitely can get a run to a Sweet 16 depending on how the bracket shapes up.
I agree. Got a tough Florida State team coming up here. Quick turnaround, but that's a quick. It's just a wake up call, man. And I'm not saying that they haven't been woke, but kind of crawling into the ACC tournament. I think it's prime real estate for them. Going to the ACC tournament. You know what type of killers you're gonna have to play against teams like Duke, Clemson, against Florida State. So this is a time where it's either going to trend up for them, it's going to go down real bad, and they could potentially end up losing in that first round. But I believe in Coach Nell. Like you said, she's a great coach. They just extended her. They didn't extend her for a bad just because she's a great coach. Have success before she came to the flat. So we're going to be right there with them. But I didn't have this on the list, but we got to talk about it. South Carolina, they did lose to UConn. Probably the worst. Got whooped. Probably the worst I've seen them play since I've been covering them. The freshman, I can't remember her name right now for UConn. Not Adele, but something like that. She had like 28 points. But just what did you think about this? Do you think that South Carolina doesn't have enough, or do you think it was a bad game?
I think it was a bad game. I think it's what they needed. You know what I'm saying? They need to get whooped like that, and Coach Dawn Staley can hold them accountable. They took it off on Arkansas tonight or the other day, 95-55, whooped them. So you need that. And I like how Coach did, like usually you see this time as the only conference time, like you playing conference opponents. But I like how she made the schedule, okay, let's play an upper echelon team and see where we're at. And I think she got a good gauge of that. I think if they play again in the future, and I think it'll be a little bit of a different result. But they got whooped in that game in the second quarter, 24-9.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just things like that. You can't score 9 points in a quarter and expect to win. So the offense was hurting a little bit, but they got pieces. Raven Johnson, Full Wiley, Pow. Like they got the pieces to do it. It's a lot of the same core they've had in years past for the most part. Tessa Johnson, another really good player. It's not like this team lost darn or everything from last year's team. So They got the pieces, I believe, to still be successful. They got the pieces, I think, still to make a deep run. I think they'll be fine. I think it was a bad night and something they needed a good wake-up call, as we said, with Georgia Tech, as well against NC State and what they've been needing lately. I think that's what South Carolina needed. They'll be fine.
I think they'll be. I don't think they're going to play that bad moving forward, but I don't think this is the team. I don't think South Carolina gets a chip this year. And here's why. First of all, as Ashton Watkins been playing, let me go to the box score real quick. But Joyce Edwards, what'd you say?
She's hurt.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I knew there was something going on, but she hasn't been playing. They need that big. They need that big, man. And Coach Staley's not playing. Adele Tack. We don't really see them with that treat. You know what I'm saying? Defensively, as we saw against UCLA, they did beat Texas, but I just think when the tournament comes, they can't, turn that corner. I think, so we could potentially see them exiting around that Elite Eight. God forbid the Sweet 16, but that Elite Eight, Final Four round for sure. But I think they're a great team, a very good team. I just think they're missing that defensive identity, not seeing the scorers really score like how I thought they would. But credit to Joyce Edwards. I'm saying she's had a 28-point game, leading scorer back-to-back games. So that's a positive sign. And maybe that's something that'll get them over the hump. But in my humble opinion, I don't think this is the year for them. Like Tina Papa said, upon that ugly loss to UConn, they came out and got punked. You know what I'm saying? Again, that's that. Last year we have Camila Cardoso. There's no question about them coming out and getting punked because she's punking. And as we saw in that LSU team, when she threw down some Big Foe. What's her name? Plays for LSU. Not Malaysia.
You're talking about Flau'jae, are you?
Najeh, yeah. When she threw it, when they had that little scuffle. So that's my point. You know what I'm saying? And having Aaliyah Boston a couple years ago. So that's going to be my takeaway. But if they can turn the corner and play better defense and create more turnovers into points, I think they'll be fine. But that's my biggest question mark with the Lady Gamecocks right now. All right, but entering into the NBA news, man, last segment of the show, man, we said the best for last. We already talked about Victor Wembanyama being out for the season. So I got to get your opinion, man. I kind of talked about it. I gave my opinion. But just what was your overall perception of NBA All-Star Weekend? Did you like it? Did you love it? Did you see some improvements?
Yeah, I see some improvements, some things that they can do. I know a lot of players said it's dumb, having rising stars. Like, why are they playing on Sunday? I know that was Draymond's take when they didn't earn it. But to the point, it's the players' fault. Like, y'all didn't really take it serious. Even if you look at NFL, I mean, they had to completely scruff their game and do flag football. But it's still exciting to kind of watch as a fan. So, I mean, to a degree, I understand. But again, y'all making millions of dollars. Like, this is for the fans. You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, you gotta be able to be that showman, right? And make it fun. We ain't seeing go all hard, all out to get injured, bro. We understand you don't want to get injured, but we just saying, bro, you can't make it fun. You can't make it a spectacle. You can't make it entertaining. I feel like that lost it. But I think they did a good job as far as the All-Star game, having them play. If you want to switch it up and make it even more entertaining, do the world or international versus USA. You know what I'm saying? That's pride on the line. You know what I'm saying? That'd be more entertaining to me, in my humble opinion, than maybe the East versus West. I don't think you should go back to that. Go world versus USA. That should be the new All-Star game going forward. To me, that'll make it fun. In terms of the dunk contest, shout out to Mac McClung, man, for just making it entertaining. I thought Castle did a really good job as well with what he was able to do and his showmanship. You know what I'm saying? I thought he made it entertaining. But Matt McClung is a three-peat. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. He got more earnings from the dunk contest than just from the NBA itself, which is kind of wild. But he's single-handedly saving it. And he's sparking conversation. Like guys like Ja, hey, maybe I should do it next year. Giannis coming to the front saying it. Obviously, it's all talk. We'll see if they actually do it. But, in order to save such a great event, you got to have your top-end players do it. And it just reverberates the same cycle we've been talking about, right? The top players not doing these things has made the All-Star weekend so weak. When me and you were in high school and graduating that one year, we never forget it. They always show it around that time. 2016. That was my last year of high school. Bro, that was such an elite All-Star game. I mean, you had Kobe in there. You know what I'm saying? Him and LeBron going one-on-one. You know what I'm saying? You had Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon going toe-to-toe. Like, it was a spectacle. Like, that's what we were talking about. But when your elite players don't care about the product, they just look, as what Stephen A would say, they just look at the NBA as a bank. That's why the results we have what we have. And I know a lot of people come for Adam Silver and they don't like how he has a lot of tournaments and things like that. But he's trying to do what he can to keep it there. They don't understand. These fans, they help pay your salary, dog. These TV deals, they help pay your salary, dog. So all I'm saying is, bro, like, be thankful for it. You made it to the league. Only a select few of you do it. Be appreciative, man, and give it. If you don't care about the league, give it back to the fans. This is really what it's about. It's about the fans. Yeah. Without them, y'all don't make no money. They're paying to come see you. They're paying to go to the expensive All-Star game to see a spectacle. Why we can't reward the fans? That's all I'm saying. I thought it was better this year. Was it the best? No. But I thought they took some good steps to do what they could. You know what I'm saying? In that instance. That's my take.
I agree. The only thing I would like to see them go back to the East and West format. At least try it one more time. I think bringing in obviously the international players is definitely box office, and we see the league trending that way. We want to keep the main thing. want to say the international play for the FIBA and Olympics. We don't want to. I don't think it'll get watered down. But too much of anything is a bad thing, especially we see the NBA playing international players consecutive years, 10 years. That's my only question mark about that. What I'm saying? East and West, we know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? But in terms of the dunk contest, I agree with you. Giannis, we'll see, brother. We'll see. I don't know if you're a dunker like that. You got the hands for it, but I ain't seen you. I don't know, brother. You know what I'm saying? And let me ask you this too. Do you think that the dunks have gone so far where it's tough to keep outdoing what's been done like they were talking about Vince Carter's dunks? People are doing those in games, you know what I mean? They're maybe not as spectacular as they once were once upon a time.
It's all about your creative gene, though, your creative intuition. So, to a degree, yes, it has gotten watered down, but that's what makes it so cool. So, we live in a creative era, like in almost every facet of life. When we look at things like AI, we look at things as, you using technology in order to be creative. Now, I'm not saying you have to do that as far as dunks. What I'm saying is find a way to be creative. There's some dunks that have never been done before. You know what I'm saying? Some where, you swipe it up between your legs, you pumping it down, you coming up, and you slamming it. Like, there's dunks that I've seen recently on a video that I have not seen in a dunk contest. So it just goes back to being creative. Like, do something different that ain't never been done before. Like a 720. We don't really see nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? Throwing it off and slamming the back of the backboard and then wimbling it under. Like, stuff like that we have not seen. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
That'd be crazy. Like, that's what I'm saying, though. If I can think of that creatively just now in this show live, just off my brain, the players should be able to do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. So I think for the players, goes back to the creativity. Go watch some of the greats like Jordan and Dominique and Dwight Howard and Nate Robinson and what he was doing. Nate Robinson wasn't no big dude, but what allowed him to win one, he was creative. You know what I'm saying? Go to your creative sense and your gene. You in the league for a reason, dog. You had to be creative to get to the league. You can't be like an average person. Tap into that creative sense, I think. And I think it won't be as watered down.
100%. Before we transition, let me get top 3 dunkers. Your favorite 3 dunkers.
All time or just this year?
All time.
This era. Gotta go Dominique, man. Yeah, he was one of the best ones. I liked. I go Vince. We like Vince Carter. This era be a mix with Ja. And I think they go neck and neck. You know what I'm saying? Like them two. Just, and the reason I'm not saying they got the most insane dunks, but just like, yo, just don't care. Like, that's what I'm saying. That's a spectacle. That's why people like them two need to be in the dunk contest.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Zion, if they go in the dunk contest and do it, it'll get more appeal. People want to see that.
Like Zion, you gotta get in there, brother. You ain't doing nothing on the court. You gotta do something, brother.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, let's see them go. Like, when I say, like, I almost like whenever they play, I just want to be on the TV screen and watch because they're so captivating. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say of this era, I feel like they're up in there. Just captivating all the time. They don't care who's in the lane. Hey, better not jump. You better make your business decision. You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely, but like Ja, Anthony Edwards, like they resonate. They resonate with I don't say just the youth, but like people under like the age of 30. You know what I mean? Just like, especially we're from the city of Georgia, or we're from Georgia, so you know what I'm saying, they obviously relate to us. You know what I'm saying? Even though Ja's from, I can't remember where he's from, but he's in Memphis, South Carolina. He's from South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. But you know, just the way he dresses, way he carries himself, we can obviously relate, man. The kids obviously can relate. So they obviously, you know what I'm saying, the aura is high. So I agree with you there. My top 3, I'm definitely gonna go. I'm gonna go with Aaron Gordon, man. I think you should have won a dunk contest that year. I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards for sure, and to pay homage, I gotta go. It's tough. I'm gonna go Dr. J, man. Go Dr. J.
good pick.
All right, let's see what we got next. All right, dunk contest stars back in play. All right, teams to watch for the second half of the season, man. East and West, man. Let me get your top. Let me get your top three teams.
I mean, obviously, Golden State. You want to see what happens with Jimmy and them. They're 3-1 going into the All-Star break after. Draymond came out with a bold take and said they can win it all. Nobody in the West scares them. They currently sit at the number 10 seed. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how much ground they're going to make to get, but they're currently 4 to 5 games behind that 6 seed in order to miss the play-in, and currently occupied by the Clippers, who is 31-23. All right, so they're interesting to watch as well. I want to see what they do. I'm not gonna go with the picks. Oh, Lakers. Like I'm gonna go with the Grizzlies. You know what I'm saying? As a team, I want to see. Can you finally get off the hump? Can you make some noise? Can you get past the second round? Can you get to a Western Conference Finals? So it's a bold question. I want to see what you can do. You know what I'm saying? I feel like the Nuggets. That's who you're gonna face in the second round. Is you ready for Yoke?
No,
who everybody believes right now is the best player in the league.
Definitely.
Is you ready for Yoke? You know, we're going to find out. So I'm interested in that storyline. I want to see what Golden State can do. Obviously not the same year that the Minnesota is having, nonetheless. And I know the Lakers really struggled last night and obviously lost to the Hornets. Tough loss after they was on a low winning streak. Lucas struggled. And my other team, I say Grizzlies, Warriors. I go Clippers. What are they going to do? You know, I'm curious to see what they can do. You know, I know they're 6 seed right now. That's not a popular pick. But Norman Powell's having an insane season. He's playing out of his mind right now.
Yes,
he got James Harden. I know Kawhi is iffy all the time. Come postseason, always getting an injury. But still a team to see what they're going to be able to do, who they match up with in the first round potentially. I think them in Denver, that could be an entertaining matchup if that actually happened.
Storm and Norman, huh?
Storm and Norman.
All right. So let me get the East.
The East, I think it's the Knicks. You know, can they actually do something? A lot of people don't think they're ready. That wild card is OG Anunoby. You know what I'm saying? The Cavs, can you actually do something this year? Right? Yeah, you're likely going to get a number 1 seed unless all hell breaks loose. You should get a 1. Can you potentially do noise? And Milwaukee, this could potentially be a big year for you. Right? 5 seed right now. What are you going to do? You might have an easy path to get to the ECF. I won't say easy, but easier path. You might can avoid Boston. You know, you're probably going to have to play the Cavs.
Right.
And you beat them. You know what I'm saying? And you're not the favorite. You know, can you do it? That would be my pick, humbly, to see what they're able to do, obviously, with the Bucks.
I like the Bucks, man. A lot of people probably want to say the Bucks, but I think that's a good brand pick. You know, Giannis, one of the best players in the league. Dame, who a lot of people are sleeping on right now, obviously playing in the smaller market. I think if he plays anywhere else, you know what I'm saying, he's definitely getting the accolades. Let me pull up his numbers real quick, and I'll go to my teams out in the West. Dame averaging 25, 7 points, 7.5 assists, and a steal a game. That's not a lot of people giving Dame his flowers. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. We'll see when that time gets to ticking. But my teams out West, top 3 teams. Obviously, I'm gonna go Golden State for sure. No, not in order. I'm gonna go Denver, and I'm gonna go on a limb. And I want to say Memphis or Oklahoma City, but I'm gonna say Rockets. I'm very enthused about that young nucleus, especially Jabari Smith. We talked about Sandy Creek earlier. You know what I'm saying, local guy. And Ime Udoka, man, you know, definitely a candidate for Coach of the Year. You know what I'm saying? His adversity, everybody knows his storyline. But we want to see, can that young style of basketball, where they're running and gunning, playing defense, exuding more energy, burning the most calories out of any team probably in the playoff, can they get that job done? And it's going to be interesting to see, man. For the East, I have to agree with you. Cleveland, I told y'all this earlier, man. Earlier pods. Cleveland's for real. They're here to stay. Milwaukee, I thought I was going to be the only one to say that, but you know what I'm saying? You beat me to the point. And obviously Boston, but to be different, I'm going to say, now I'll be safe to say Boston, but I was this close to saying the Pistons. I like the Pistons. I like what Cade Cunningham's doing. 6-4 in their last 10, a very good team. You know what I'm saying? Got one of the Thompson twins on their team. And they got a big who's been doing their thing. Jalen Duren, man. Going crazy. And Malik Beasley, brother. Malik Beasley is electric, averaging 16 points. I think he's coming off the bench, if I'm not mistaken. So shout out to Malik going crazy. But that'll round up the top our teams to watch in the second half of the season. Now we're going to talk about in our final topics, man. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander fires his agent. I think it's a good move, man. What'd you say?
Smart move.
Smart move, man. So we agree, smart move. Obviously, when you're a player of that caliber, you know what I'm saying, it's not too hard to negotiate, you know what I'm saying, when you are the top of the league. All you got to do is, man, look at similar contracts or just call up Joel Embiid. Yes, brother, you know what I'm saying, you struggle to stay on the court. You know what I'm saying, how do you do this? How are you negotiating? You know, so I'm on the court. I'm averaging 30. My team's number one in the West. That's all you got to do, man. So, again, man, even if you are the sixth man, you know what I'm saying, you averaging 15, or if you're not the sixth man, you just a guy come off the bench averaging 10 points. Same thing. You know what I'm saying? You probably do need an agent if you're not, you know what I'm saying, major, unless you want to have your mom do it or something. But my thing is we're in the year of automation, you know what I'm saying, infra, you know what I'm saying, technology, AI. Just look at these contracts, man. You're paying out for 5% of your contract to get these guys to do something you could do in a day.
Goes back to my point, just, not being lazy, just doing the work. I mean, you're not doing nothing else. So why not take that time in order to make sure cross your T's, dot your I's? You know what I'm saying? Why not? And he's gonna save a lot of money. He's due for a $300 million super max extension, maybe more. And then now you don't have to give him lawyer fees, or not lawyer, but agent fees, and pay millions of dollars. Keep it for yourself. Go look at Lamar Jackson. He did it. He got his money. You know what I'm saying? Just be smart, man. That's it. And then once you get that money, do the right stuff with it, man. Give back, you know what I'm saying, to communities and things like that. You know what I'm saying? God sees that. Like, look out for people, you know what I'm saying? And, continue to give back. Do initiatives, whatever it is. And most importantly, invest your bread. You know what I'm saying? It ain't hard. Buy your VOO, S&P 500 ETF. Buy your QQQ technology ETF. You know what I'm saying? Buy your world ETF as well. It's a lot you can do. You know what I'm saying? Just to have your money worth. Buy some dividend stocks. If you know what that is, it's a form of payment you get for owning the stock or owning the company. You know what I'm saying? It's not that hard, brother. Take you 30 minutes to an hour. That's it. You'll be set for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? Your money will be on autopilot, right? Talk about the automation. You want your money on automation and autopilot as well.
In layman's terms, for anybody that's watching that's not in the market, man, you know what I'm saying, VOO is S&P 500. You can Google that, Standard & Poor 500. It's the top companies in that sector. So meaning, you know what I'm saying, if you have $1,000, you know what I'm saying, in layman's terms, right? You put in a stock, or you know what I'm saying, say you buy something that's $1,000, you talk about the bank, you put your money in the savings account, you're getting 0.05% return. Now putting in the S&P, you're getting 15 to 20% return on your money. And you know what I'm saying? Simple math. Obviously, we talked about Shai, $300 million. He takes half of that, $150 million. You do the math, and you know what I'm saying, you'll come up with the cash. Therefore, we will transition on. Another interesting topic, man. Kyrie Irving has announced that he is looking to play for Team Australia in the next Olympics. It's in London.
No location on that one.
No location on that one. Okay, excuse me. But you know what I'm saying, he's looking to play for Team Australia, and in the upcoming, it's in LA, right? No. What is going to live? I think it is LA.
You might be right. Yeah,
I think it's LA.
Right. Yeah, it might be right.
So you know what I'm saying, just obviously, you know what I'm saying, Team USA kicks Kyrie to the curb. So now one of the best ball handlers is going to play for Team Australia.
This helps the entry. I mean, the cool part, USA always used to dominate. You just see other players, going to their teams. Like France was, really good this past year. Obviously, USA ended up winning, but it made for an interesting battle. So, I mean, I like it. I think that's where he was born and then where he spent, a good portion of his early life. You know what I'm saying? Potentially. I like it. Why not get one of the best players in the NBA, you know what I'm saying, to go play for another team and you have to try to slow him down. Like I like it. I like it for the intrigue. It makes it more entertaining. It's not one dominant team. And I think he said, hey, I can go play with them and see what I'm able to do. I love it.
Nah, facts. Dante Exum he's an Aussie. I'm trying to see basketball players from Australia. Let's see what they're kind of working with. Australia current players. All right, here we go. Quick Google, y'all. All right, Dante Exum, Dyson Daniels. I'm saying Ben. We ain't gonna say Ben Simmons. No disrespect to Ben. Josh Giddey. I'm seeing Josh Green. I think I've already said. Don't see DeAndre Ayton. So they got a formidable lineup, man. Matthew Dellavedova, if he's still still around, wants to play. Joe Ingles. So I mean, Jack McVay. They got I think they got enough to possibly get be around that bronze maybe not silver talk. We all know that's Francis Miller, but that bronze talk is definitely on the table, man. So shout out to Kai, man. You know what I'm saying? I like how Kai moves. When one door closes, another one opens. In the process of that door closing, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of growth. You know what I'm saying? I just like his transition, man. What his overall message right now. So shout out to Kyrie Irving and the whole Aussie, you know what I'm saying, community country, whatever you want to say. So teams with the most approved, Lakers or Warriors or etc. Which team do you think has the most approved to round out the basketball segment?
Neither.
So
we got to do a better job. It's not your fault, but we have to do a better job when we do topics of, and this is not directly to you. I'm talking about media in general. We always put it around Lakers and Warriors. I understand it's LeBron. I understand it's Steph. Rightfully so. They're the face of the league until they retire. I get it. Why isn't the pressure on OKC? Why is there none on them?
Because
why is no pressure on the Clippers? You know what I'm saying? Why is there no pressure on the Nuggets? I know they've won a chip. Why is there no pressure on them?
We expect the Nuggets to be there. OKC is pretty much a one man show. We I don't even think a lot of people were saying that Oklahoma might lose first or second round because they're gonna have to play the Warriors.
So that's what I'm saying.
And the Clippers are too damn old.
So you telling me the number one seed for potentially 2 years in a row is gonna go out in the first, second round?
Possibly.
I mean, they got a lot of pressure because they got talent. Everybody think there's a one-man crew. That ain't a one-man crew. They got some players that can play. They got Shea, I know.
Chet.
They got Lou Dortz.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They got Chet.
Can't stay healthy.
You know what I'm saying? They got Williams. They got some guys. All right. Why is there no pressure on them? Why is there no pressure on Minnesota or Dallas?
Well, we already know what's going on with Dallas.
Yeah, but why is there no pressure? They just made that darn trade, and they fans up in hoots. But they don't got. What if they don't even make the playoffs this year? They said they did this to win a ring. Why do they not have any pressure? You see what I'm saying? Like there's more conversation we can have. Why we always have to center around Lakers and Warriors? I don't think there's no pressure. They won. You know what I'm saying? This is new for both of them. You're not gonna figure this out in a couple of months. You know what I'm saying? Now if it's years and whatever, cool. There's no pressure. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I'm saying? I know that Curry's coming on the end of an era. I know LeBron is too. But they both got four. When we gonna start having a conversation like how we do in the NFL? Oh, is the pressure on Burrow? Is the pressure on Josh Allen? Is the pressure on Lamar? Right? When we gonna shift to the pressure being on these young thoroughbreds? Is what I'm trying to get to. The old heads done won. And did what they was gonna do. You know what I'm saying? When we gonna transition to, okay, Jason Tatum got a ring, Jaylen Brown got a ring. Yoke got a ring. Jamal Murray got a ring. Who's next going to win a ring in the NBA?
Well, you got to earn that, brother. You can't come in and be a young team and be flopping and losing in first, second round when the old heads are still carrying the crown.
I understand, but what I'm saying is, who is going to be the next young thoroughbred to win? That should be the conversation.
Who do you think?
Who I think?
You see, yeah, that's a long pause, brother. That's a long pause.
Who do I think? I think best position would be OKC. They should be the next young thoroughbreds to win.
I think the Rockets might get there before them.
They're not ready. This is their first time in the playoffs. Enough with the Rockets.
Great coach.
Great coach. He didn't win a ring.
He did. He got robbed that ring.
How did he get? Steph Curry put on a show. What are you talking about? How did he get robbed?
Saying, Dallas won that ring last year, right? I mean, Boston won that ring last year.
I see what you're saying. I mean, well, you can't be fondling with the crew. You know that. Why do people do that?
I'm only a man.
I understand.
I'm just a man.
you come out better paying, bro, or you know what I'm saying, paying for a hookup. It's not worth it, bro. You do not mess with people you work with.
Yeah, for sure.
Don't do it.
You don't do it.
It's never going to be a good result. Ever. Like, ever. You know what I'm saying? So, to get robbed, he shouldn't have been messing with the crew member.
He had that, though?
He had Nia Long, bro. Why are you dibbling and dabbling with somebody else? Why you had to do it to the Black Queen? I understand they said she stuck up and all that. Come on, bro.
I will not tear down a black man on Black History Month.
That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, this, you shouldn't be having inappropriate relations. That's all I'm saying. I understand. Hey, man got needs. Why you had to mess with a crewmate? You couldn't find nothing else, bro. And no homo and pause and no Diddy, but good looking fella. Like, come on, bro. That's all I'm saying, bro.
I understand, brother. He could win. If he was in Atlanta, he could win a 5 leagues or something. You know what I'm saying? Match, but. You know what I mean? He did what he did, but nonetheless, I brought up Ime Udoka because he transitioned that Boston team when they were young, and a lot of people were like, man, they're too young. Jason Tatum, this, that, and the third. You know what I'm saying?
They had years, though, twin. They had years. That's a good point.
Yeah.
They had some years, though, on them, though. They had about 4 or 5.
Yeah, they did.
These thoroughbreds ain't got that. They not ready. Sorry. Now, next year, we could be having a different conversation. First playoffs? Nah. I have to believe it. Nah.
You think Shea I mean, if Chet's there, I think they got a good chance, but Shea's gonna have to average 30 to get them to where they need to be.
OKC has a team. They can do
He's like that.
Yeah. They can do it. He just gotta stay healthy. Put some bone and some muscle on him. In the gym. He'll be all right.
So are you willing to say that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which is probably becoming one of my favorite, I have yet to watch a full game of him in the NBA, but do you think he will win the NBA championship before Anthony Edwards? It's looking like it.
Depending on how this year go. And was close last year.
And was close.
You know what I'm saying? I think they could have beat Boston too if they would have got there. Humbly. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, maybe. I don't like how they got the team constructed around him.
Who, Ant?
Yeah. Yeah, so I would say maybe. But it depends how the playoffs go this year. Now you can make a run. WCF, you got a shot. They can win a ring. But we'll see.
We'll see. Who, you probably said it. Who's your favorite NBA team?
I don't have one.
You don't have one?
Like players now. Yeah, just players.
Okay. No. Well, mine is the Hawks. I would have said the Hawks probably would have had a chance before they traded DeAndre Hunter. Jalen Johnson's definitely out for the season, so we'll see where they go. Do I have any news pertaining to G League? Obviously, Kevontae Harris, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, Ellenwood native won the G League MVP honors, you know what I'm saying, in their All-Star games. So shout out to Kevon, man. Definitely tearing up in the G League, man. I was down there when they played that night. Was it the Mad Ants out of Indiana? It might have been them. And I was talking to one of the coaches. He was like, "Yeah, man, keep them saying." I was like, "Man, coach, I ain't never seen him just be this locked in and just, you know what I'm saying." He was like, "Is there this energy?" He's like, "Yeah, man, just frustration buckets. Nobody wants to be in the G, obviously, for obvious reasons. So everybody wants to get to the NBA." But yeah, he's like, "Yeah, man, he just turned the corner. You know, so obviously he's the primary guard right now. You know what I mean? With Keaton Wallace obviously being a mainstay in the NBA. So, you know, so he's been doing his thing. Uh, Made his way to out there. I can't remember where they played at, but he won an MVP honors, man. Definitely want to give a salute to Kevon Harris for doing his thing. So that's all the G League updates that I have on the Skyhawks. Definitely go support your G League teams. This has been a one and only an epic episode of the Justice and podcast for basketball. If my co-host doesn't have anything else to say, we'll bid y'all a peace and an adieu and a good night. But do you have anything else to say, sir?
No, sir.
Well, there it is, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in, man. We're back again next Tuesday at Wednesday. We'll keep that updated on the Twitter feeds for the football. But you know what I'm saying? It's always every Thursday. We're talking hoops, man. So peace and love. Get y'all some sleep. Read, invest your money, and tell your folks you love them, man. Peace and love.